Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. I've got so much great information, helpful information, I hope, to help you plan for the week ahead. That's next week and this week, because we got tropical weather that could influence some parts of the southeast. We've got storms today that are going to be off the chart because we could be wringing out the proverbial car wash sponge again in East Tennessee. But it won't last for that much longer because we got today and tomorrow, and then the pattern changes. I got a lot to cover. But I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, we got some visibility that's down to about a mile or less between Middlesboro and Jonesville. 10 miles in Knoxville, not a problem there, but there could be some patches of fog to greet you this morning. And yes, as some of you might have suspected, there were a few showers overnight. Not a whole lot to see now. You look back toward Mountain City, maybe south of Johnson City, a few sprinkles there. But let's rewind the tape. Let's go back about 8 hours. Could we do that? I believe we can. Yeah, there were some thunderstorms last night. We know that. I was up late with you. But there was also some activity in Clinton and Wartburg and there, just south of La Follette in the wee hours of the morning. We'll play time frame there was probably just around 2 in the morning. Between 1 and 2, it began to show up around 3 or 4 in Blaine, and it rolled in from west to east. But most of that's faded away, and it wasn't as strong or nearly as severe as it was last night and during the evening hours. By the way, if you're checking out the Ultimate Doppler Radar and you want to help out with my sponsor, go to marcos.com. You might be planning your dinner plans tonight. Maybe you want to order in. Oh, yes, they do delivery. Marco's Pizza, marcos.com. You might want a pepperoni pizza tonight. That might be an idea, or at least a suggestion. Less than $10 at $9.99. Limited time only. The pepperoni magnifico is magnificent. And oh yes, the Pozzoli. I love this for a lunch item. Check out the buffalo chicken Pozzoli. I love the pepperoni and sausage, the one pictured at the top. That's my favorite. But the chicken bacon ranch is also delish, and you can just get pepperoni too. That's also one of the options for less than $6. Notice the radar. We have another line that's coming in from the north and west. The concern from the concern. I almost said Hurricane Center. I did. We'll get to them in a moment. But the National Weather Service is concerned, the one in Morristown, is concerned about the heavier rains north of Interstate 40 today. That means they think we could get up to 2 inches, in excess of 2 inches, north of I-40. Now, some of you are going, oh, please, no more. But once we get into Saturday, we're down about a 40%. We'll leave it an 80% chance of rain today, 40% tomorrow, and virtually no rain on Sunday for most of us unless you're camping in the Smokies, and there'll be about a 20% chance. But this is what we're looking at. We've got a lot of green in East Tennessee. That's the flood watch that runs until 8 o'clock tonight. Meanwhile, it's raining around Buffalo and Erie, Pennsylvania, quiet across many areas in the Great Lakes, and the heat, my goodness. Is there enough heat to go around? It looks like we have excessive heat warnings now in parts of Louisiana. Let me get this back over to the side here. But you can see that some of these areas are going to be causing some issues, no doubt, for those who are down in the south. If they're going to be working Houston's on a heat advisory. You got many areas around the country that are concerned about the heat. I got a note here, I believe, if we have one, to say good morning to Danny. He's my first comment I'm going to put on the screen. Danny says, oh, have a wonderful day. Go Vols. Good to see you here, Danny. Hope you have a great weekend. I also noticed from Lana Johnson. She says, I'm having some fog in Kodak. Everyone have a great day. Love the weather report. Fred is on here. He's noting he's got 73 degrees in Maryville, and he's noting how humid it is. Humidity is off the chart. It's been above 70, 75 the last 24 hours, so it's been very, very sticky. Let's get to that number, and also the flood watch. Here's where the verbiage has changed. Now, what was just flooding on creeks and streams and rivers is now most concerned north of Interstate 40. So if you have the Captain Accurate Weather app, you can read all about it. What's the old expression? Read all about it. You can read about it in text form from the National Weather Service on my app. And all you have to do is touch on your county, and if you're green, it'll show up as an opportunity there, and you'll see an exclamation point with a triangle. Just tap on that, and all the text will appear. But excess of 2 inches or more is possible, and that's what they're concerned about. And I think we should be concerned because, again, with these high dew points, it doesn't take much. When it rains, it will pour. Tracking clouds and radar, there is not, I repeat, not much to see at the moment. We had a little bit of activity, we mentioned, between, say, Wartburg, Clinton, and Blaine. Came in during the wee hours of the morning between 1 and 4, but not severe, just a downpour. But there's more energy back toward Bowling Green, and you can see that's going to help trigger more showers and storms today. I left an 80% chance of showers and storms here on Friday. Current temperature, look at that, 74 and 73 in Rockwood, 75 in Madisonville. You couple that with the high dew points, and I believe they're in the 70s. Oh, yes. Hello, swamp. To borrow the expression from Axl Rose, welcome to the jungle. This is what it feels like. It's sticky and humid and stuffy. Newport, 72. Crossville, 72. Anytime it's above 70, and when it's this, and we've got the possibility of severe weather, we got the possibility of isolated severe storms today, so damaging wind. We had a lot of tree outage or trees down. We saw power outages last night. So the weather may be like a repeat situation today. I hope you're ready for it. It's going to be a wild ride. Now, yesterday we hit 91. That was expected. I'm expecting 92 today. And now with an 80% chance of rain, that means we're going to get enough hazy sunshine before all this kicks back into high gear to get us up to the low 90s. Many of us could be closer to 93. Tellico Plains. Maryville may approach 94, 95. I mean, it's going to be crazy. I mean, you're still talking heat indices, or feels like temperatures in the upper 90s to around 100. So it's going to feel awfully hot, and the reason the heat index is so much higher is because those dew points are in the low to mid 70s. It's just part of the way it goes. I want to say good morning to you. Got some notes. Let's see here. My notes would read, yes, we hit 91 yesterday. Did you know we broke a record yesterday? August 1st, 2024, we broke a record. What record are we talking about? Rainfall. Rainfall. We got 1.82 inches of rain. The first day, now keep in mind, they keep a record high, record low for each day, but they have a record rainfall for each day of the year, 365 days of the year. Well, we had an old record that was 1.31 back when Woodrow Wilson was president, 1919. This record, this rainfall record, it's been on the books for 105 years. No longer. It's now being replaced with August 1st, 2024. So you got to love the Weather Service. They keep records, copious amounts of records. Love it. But as far as the record for the day, 1.82. So far for the month, we've had 1.82 inches and a gust of wind yesterday of 35 miles per hour. Record high today is 97. That occurred in 2011. 1987 and 1942, and the record low 55 from 1895. So just want to share with you some of the interesting stats and figures as we're looking at our high temperatures today. By the way, the 90-degree days in August are not unheard of, but it's not typically the most abundant month. Historically, we get about 10. We're going to exceed that, I suspect. But 10 days in August is what we usually see, and we've had one day so far. So if you do the math, we're up to 30 days. And you say, wait a minute, you said we'd only get 30. No, I said the average is 34. And some years, like last year, we had only 18. Nobody cried a big, nobody called a foul, no harm, no foul. We had only 18 90-degree days last year. So is it any wonder the pendulum swings? We're going to be well above 34 this go around because we're already up to 30, and today should be the 31st day of 90. Now, I mentioned a record for rainfall. It was the 1.82. We're almost closing in on the entire month's worth, right? We get about 3.63. They're in green. We had only 5 inches in July. We finished below a quarter inch, but I think we made up for that, don't you? Yesterday, 1.82. That was a lot of rain at the airport. Some of you may have had more. Some of you may have had significantly less. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Now, by 5 o'clock today, is it any wonder our friends at the Weather Service think it's mainly north of Interstate 40? That's what the data would suggest. Because if you look at Tellico Plains, if you look at Athens, what, 0.04, 0.02, it may not be as rainy if you're in Maryville today. But if you're in La Follette, you're in Oneida, you're in Wartburg, or even Jamestown or Middlesboro, you may have another active afternoon and evening, and it populates like so through the rest of Saturday and into Saturday night. I do think this faucet will turn off as we head into Sunday. Any chance of rain Sunday, I think, is going to be pretty much confined to the higher elevations in the Smokies and western North Carolina. Now, for those of you that are going back to school today, I believe Hamlin County, because Bertie told me, Janet Potts told me that Hamlin County goes back to school today. If you're going back to school today, put that in the comment. I'd love to be able to share that with you. And if you have a school that maybe starts Monday or Tuesday, whatever, share that with me because I want to give you a shout out because I think a lot of you are like looking back in the rearview mirror and say, well, where did the summer go? Well, we had 14 days of 90 in June. These are the high temperatures in June. And it really cranked up as we moved into about the 18th, I'd say the 14th of, I would say around 14th of June. We started hitting 90 degrees rapidly. And if you look at July, it's been off the chart. We had 15 days, but then it stopped. By the time we hit the 18th of July, we couldn't get a 90 anytime in the time frame. So we've had a long stretch without the 90-degree weather. Current temperature, I mentioned in the 70s. We have no wind at the moment. We do have some fog. Please be mindful of that. Time right now is 6:50. I want to check in with your comments. It is time to recognize you, my early morning risers, early morning viewers. It's time to maybe share a message or a weather report. Just another reward for, I guess, getting up early. Linda Rice is on here. She says good morning. David, thank you for keeping us updated. Have a blessed day. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. Linda, I hope you have the same as well. Another comment from Alice. She's just wanting to say good morning. Glad to have Alice. She's got her face there, a smiling face on her avatar there, and she's on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, I'm also there. And I got my friend Ed on here. Ed says good morning as he rinse and repeat. Yes, have a great weekend. We're going to rinse and repeat for sure today. And today will be maybe the grand finale because I left just a 40% chance of rain tomorrow. It's going to be, I mean, today could be the main event, certainly over the next 7 days because I don't see a lot of rain either Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I get ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and show you current temperatures. It's 80. Are you kidding me? If you're at 80 in the morning, Nashville, Memphis, you know they're going to have some heat concerns, most likely. Now, we're at 74. Our friends in Chattanooga starting the morning off at 78 degrees. So those are the current readings. Dew points across the state are in the low to mid 70s. That's icky and sticky, and that makes the feels like temperature feel like 84 in Nashville, Music City, as well as Memphis. So the feels like temperature will be something to watch heading into the rest of the afternoon. And that's because this humidity just gets darker and darker green over time. You can see it spinning in here. It's like a different shade of green, but that all represents the humid, stuffy air, bad hair days, and low comfort level. A comfort level that's low and hair days that are bad. And it means just want extra hairspray perhaps, or extra hair product, whatever you want to call it. I will say that the change in humidity will not really, maybe ebb and flow a little bit. Sunday morning, looks like it's a little less green there, but it comes back. And again, it may ebb and flow in parts of the mountains of North Carolina or even Kentucky by early Monday morning, because some of that humidity may erode up in the Commonwealth. Heading up to the clouds we go, scattered clouds, hazy sunshine, as the sun did come up just a few moments ago at 6:45. It'll be setting now, believe it or not, before 8:40. It goes down tonight at 8:39. So if you're going to be walking the dog, you might have to dodge a few raindrops or thunderstorms. Today I expect a high of 92, the 3 H's, and an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Now for the big reveal. Ta-da! Oh no, you pulled out the bus stop for it. School doesn't start until next Thursday in Knox County. I know. But my friend Janet Potts said Hamlin County is going back, so we're going to shout out to all our friends in Hamlin County and Morristown, for example. 80 degrees around 10. If there's recess, it's going to be warm, but thunderstorms will probably populate the screen or parts of the radar by certainly 2 o'clock at 88 degrees. That's my expectation. Thank you, Janet, for that update. By the way, today, 92 in Oak Ridge, looking for a high in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge at 90, and 93 in Kingston, Rockwood, as well as Harriman for today. Oh, I got another note from Darcy Soar. She says, hello, happy Friday. She says it's the first half day of school for Roane County. So we could have put Roane on there. Shout out to Roane County, woohoo! Because school is one of the things. So what was that old commercial? It's the most wonderful time of the year. I guess parents love when kids get to go back to school, maybe, but they also love their kids to spend time in the summertime because summer fades pretty quickly, but it's still so blazing hot heading into next week. By the way, as we turn our attention to the tropics, you cannot look at this and say, does this have an impact on us? Yes, it means it's not affecting us at all. But it means it will allow us to stay dry and hot like a firecracker. It's going to be very rainy if you're headed to the beaches, if you're not going to school next week. But where you see the red, there's an 80% chance this gets the name Debbie. And Debbie is the next name on the list from the Hurricane Center. That's what the NHC stands for, National Hurricane Center, for the next 7 days. This is their outlook. It is, by the way, 6:54. Let me show you what Debbie could do. As you can see, the curvature, most of the models want to take it toward Tampa. If it holds together, may or may not even have a name, but it does want to drift back over the Atlantic. So it's one of those kind of slow movers. And as I mentioned online, I said, ugh, the password is Debbie. But in my view, the username is Debbie, but the password is slow mover. This is definitely a slow mover as far as Debbie is concerned, and why it could be a real pain if you've got beach plans in the next 7 to 14 days, because it's going to be very unsettled Rip currents will be almost assured, and it's one of those beach vacations where you may spend the whole time in the sand, and the lifeguards say, get out of the water, get out of the water, we don't want you swimming. And that's no fun. That's a spoiler. And if I'm just the messenger, so be it, because that's all I am. But you may say this is for the birds when you're talking 5, 6, 10 inches of rain over a period of time along the shoreline. By the way, headlines, more heat, humidity, and storms today. It's 6:55. A bit cooler with storms on Saturday, and then isolated storms in the Smokies on Sunday. I don't know if I could be any more clear about that, because that's been my position now for several days. 74 is our current temperature. We have a dew point that's off the chart. It's 73, and we've got relative humidity at 97% with some fog in the area. By the way, if we hit 92, could very well come between 3 and 4, because by the time we hit 5 or 6, I think the showers and storms will certainly be making its presence known. I've got the 3 H's, and I have that 80% chance of showers and storms. Normal high this time of year is 88, and that would put us about 4 degrees above average. So we've got 80%, 40%, and then where's the rain? No rain on Monday. Really, no rain on Sunday for most of us. That's really for the Smokies. But 0% chance on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we're just living in the mid-90s, feeling like closer to 100. As far as the severe weather, we mentioned that we have a chance. What you're saying is we have a chance. Yeah, we have a chance everywhere in dark green for isolated severe storms. That would be like, I guess, east of Denver, maybe an area patch there in Arizona, but we're more concerned about the beaches, right? If you're in Knoxville or heading to Charlotte, headed to Myrtle Beach, you're going to encounter the same type of pattern that when it rains, it will pour. That would affect areas from Wrightsville Beach down towards, say, Charleston, back toward Birmingham, and certainly Knoxville, East Tennessee. We're all covered in dark green for isolated severe storms today. Heading into Saturday, we remove that chance. I've lowered my expectation from 88 to 86. So the high temperature tomorrow, 86, 40% chance of rain, so it's half the chance. The probability is cut in half for a rainstorm or a thunderstorm tomorrow, and we'll keep a watchful eye on that up toward Minneapolis, St. Paul, St. Cloud, Rochester, Minnesota. They could have some isolated severe storms, but really it's the I-95 corridor tomorrow that if you're traveling in this direction, you might still have a similar unsettled or an even stormy pattern for sure. But coming back home, it's just general thunderstorms. I left a 40% chance Saturday. Sunday, forget about it. There's hardly any dark green areas. In fact, there are none from the lens of our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. They have some thunderstorms in light green, but nothing dark green and certainly nothing yellow. So for us on Sunday, they think that the shower threat is all over this area. I think it's mainly Smokies, Bryson City, and maybe Asheville as well. Here's the futurecast. What's playing out is this front's picked up a little bit of momentum. So we're going to leave that 80% chance today. It may really kick in half in the middle of the afternoon, from 2 to 5. This is what it may very well look like, and it starts to really come down in buckets. But it's enough time to get us into the low 90s, because we're already in the low 70s. Once we move into 5 o'clock and into the evening hours, they will slow down. Chance of rain tonight, about a 60% chance, and we'll stair-step down to 40% for tomorrow. But that front, even though it's nearby, won't be pushing as much rain in our neck of the woods. There'll still be some showers, but I don't think they'll be nearly as intense. And in fact, the Weather Service keeps most of the stronger storms along the I-95 stretch, the interstate there. But it does stall this front on Monday around Charlotte. We stay hot, we stay dry. And I do think we're going to watch this little trough. I think it's going to stay well to our east. So I think it's one of those things. It could drift, but my expectation is to keep things on the dry side next week. Futurecast looks like this. Pick out your favorite town. It's now 6:59. This may, because it does suggest a different outcome, a different solution, because it's a different model. It really lights the skies up at midday in red in southeast Kentucky. 85 at noon. But look at 2 o'clock. Jamestown, Fentress County. Oh no, here we do. We're doing it again. Here we go again. Yeah, it looks like that, right? Most of it's north of Interstate 40, and some of these red areas could drop 1 or 2 inches of rain. It's what we've seen in the last couple of days. That should not be a surprise. Doesn't mean it can't move south of Interstate 40, because clearly this image at 5 suggests it does, but it may be more favored to do that, especially north of I-40. I'll keep an eye on that as well, because the data can have some variance or variability. By the time we hit tomorrow morning, we're in the upper 60s. We'll finish the day on Saturday about 86 now. So by the time we hit midday, it may look like this. not as intense, and maybe some widely scattered showers. We'll leave it at a 40% chance for outdoor activities on your Saturday, because we got to get you through the weekend. Sunday, I think the chance of rain is in the Smokies. So for today, 92. It is now 7 o'clock straight up. I'm finishing up on time, or doing my best to finish here on time. Hazy, hot, and humid. Showers and storms, 80% chance, and yes, the winds will pick up 5 to 10 plus. We had a gust of 35 miles an hour yesterday, because some of those storms can certainly kick up the wind, no doubt. 95 for Maryville, maybe pie in the sky. I think we hit 94 in Newport, but it will be closer to 86 today in Oneida, 87 for La Follette. Traveling today, they should easily hit mid-90s in Atlanta, about 99 for Augusta, Georgia, and 99, or 98, I should say, for Columbia, South Carolina. Here's your tonight forecast, down to 69. You can anticipate there'll be some fog, much like you've got this morning. We'll do it again tomorrow morning. Showers and storms, about a 40%, or excuse me, 60% chance tonight, 40% tomorrow. And we'll be down to about 68 for Morristown, 66 for Sevierville. Maryville, Alcoa, look for a low for you, around 69 to start the day on Saturday morning. So here's the 7-day forecast. The Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for the next 7 days does cool down a bit on Saturday. Take it in if you're not a fan of the 90s, because you're not going to want to see what next week brings. 20% chance mountains, spotty storms, but it's 93, 95, 96, 95, and we're going to be watching what could be Debbie, or if it's not named Debbie, just a really slow storm maker. That's what we're going to likely see, at least here. Anyway, I got another note from Wanda Poe. She's in Cocke County. She says school starts here today. So a shout out to Cocke County, Hamlin County, and a half day in Roane County. Thank you so much, Wanda. Appreciate that very much. Also got a nice little note I'd share from Fred. Fred's on here. He says, have a safe and blessed weekend. Thank you, Fred, for watching. And I appreciate all my live viewers. That's one of the benefits. I guess if you get up early, you get to have your name up on the screen. I love having that ability to do that. So anyway, by the way, if you haven't checked out the free Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic, this is really the good time to have it, right? I mean, yes, when it's hot and humid, you want to know what the temperature is, but you want to know, are there lightning? Is there lightning near me? Is it within 15 miles of my location? The beautiful thing is it comes to your phone in real time. As soon as we get information or intel that lightning is within 15 miles of your location, whether it be at work or school, at the pool, the neighborhood pool, the beach, wherever, or even the lake, yes, you'll get notified. Plus, you get all the National Weather Service alerts, plus 3 extras by far and away. And when you pair it with local traffic with Pete, it's just fantastic. My premium members are enjoying so much more extra information. They get about 15 to 20 posts a day. Most days, certainly Monday through Friday. Saturday I might slow it down a bit, but then I do a Facebook Live for them on a Sunday so they can plan for the weekend. But you could join us, and our focus typically is beyond the next 7 days. We like to focus on a forecast that goes 2 weeks, 30 days in the future, so we can get at least a bird's eye view of what to expect. As a premium member, if you decide to hit the subscribe button, you would be the first to see every forecast. You would enjoy about 4 extra Facebook Lives a month. Fantastic. And you get fewer ads. That's pretty sweet too. So being a premium member, you could join our community as we continue to grow, and love the fact that you're here. If you're on the call and want to consider joining us, as I say, it's only $4.99 a month. That's the price of a cup of coffee. Tell me where you can get a nice, really nice tall cup of coffee for less than $5. Hard to press these days. Certainly you can. But for the entire month, that averages out to 16 cents a day. I think it's the best East Tennessee weather bargain in town, hands down. And a lot of folks have been with me now, closing in on 2 years. So for those who have been there, I really appreciate my premium members, as they're kind of like in my inner circle. They're like they know what I'm thinking, how I'm thinking weather-wise. So if that's what you're interested in, check us out. You can always cancel at any time. I hope you have a safe weekend. Don't forget the umbrella. We'll see you here next time. Take care.